Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are K&K Crochet. Welcome back to our channel. What are you doing this week? What are you working on? What are you frustrated with? What's your I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm throwing it out project? I thought today we would come on and talk a little bit about the things that sometimes aggravate us. And the things that sometimes aggravate us happen to be our crochet work, right? We get involved in something and we find a stitch that somebody's doing, or we do a project, and I used to get so aggravated. I would do a project and not read the pattern, and I'd get all the way to the end, and then they'd throw in a stitch that I didn't like. And then I'd be like, I'm not doing that. I can't stand that stitch. And the problem would be not that I couldn't stand the stitch, it's that I couldn't do it. So it wasn't that I couldn't stand the stitch. I was just being difficult because I couldn't do the stitch. So do you have a stitch like that? Do you have a stitch do you have one you don't like to do?
Bobble stitches.
Bobble stitches are one of mine that I really wasn't fond of until I started doing a lot of work with a lot of the patterns by Old Soul Crochet with the blanket yarn, which I don't do anymore because I can't do the blanket yarn, but or at least I don't do it often. But she did a lot of bobble stitches and they were beautiful, so I did start doing those then. But I'm still, in worsted weight, I'm not a fan of bobble stitches.
Not either.
Not a fan.
I can't get them all the same height all the time.
And me either. Is there any others that you're not a fan of?
No, not really.
Okay, well, the one that I really was not a fan of, thought it was beautiful, could not do it. So I was not a fan because I could not execute the stitch, is the crab stitch. And that's the one where you crochet backwards basically around. Phew. Yeah, we're flying squirrels here. Where you crochet into the stitch behind that stitch, single crochet into the stitch behind that stitch, so that it makes a little ribbed like band around the top of the work. Well, not a fan of that in the least. And so, but I'm going to show you a stitch that I learned this week by looking, just goofing around on Facebook, YouTube, something that makes it easier. Because it is a crab stitch, but it's not. It's called the forward crab stitch, which the backward part is what I always had problems with, is trying to turn my hands in a way where I could get that stitch to go in backwards. So I'm going to try and show you here. So I've got just basic single crochet. So you're watching me, but I'm going in, backwards, but hopefully you can tell. So I'm going to go into my stitch and pull up my loop, just like I'm going to do a regular single crochet. But this is going to put a twist on it. You literally are going to twist your hook all the way around, and then you are going to yarn over and pull through. And I just messed that up. Okay, so let me show you again. Just like a regular single crochet, and pull up a loop, but you're literally going to put a twist on it. You're going to twist your hook all the way around, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through those two loops. I have trouble. And I still have trouble finagling with it and doing it, but it's so much easier to do. And I just did a regular single crochet. But anyway, I did want to show you what it would look like. And let me see here. Which way I did it. Yeah. So that you could see. And see, that's so much easier. Now, granted, I'm still practicing and learning, but it's still a crab stitch. I did not have to go backwards to do it. This is just... Alright. Yeah, I finished it off. But anyway, I still didn't have to go backwards to do it. It's still a crab stitch. It still makes a pretty border around it. And I would be willing to do that, considering what I did before, trying to do a crab stitch and wanted to throw the whole project away. I don't like crab stitch. I can't do it. That's the problem. I physically cannot get my hands to go backwards to do that. But I can turn my hook and twist it around so that it will make it. So I plan on practicing that a little bit till I can get better at that, so I can add the crab stitch to more of my projects. So if you really don't like a stitch and aren't fond of it, mainly because you haven't been able to get the hang of it like me, then maybe do a little research to see if there's a different way to do it. Now, like I said, this is before, when you did a crab stitch, you worked backwards around the counterclockwise around your project. This is clockwise, so I can do this. I don't have to reach around backwards. I don't have to twist my hook around backwards. That to me was so foreign and such a difficult concept, especially if you have arthritis. So this, I'm twisting my hook, and that's all I have to do. And yeah, I'm still working on the tension with the way that the 2 loops are still on there when you're trying to then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. But I'm really happy with what I got. Again, it's called the forward crab stitch. The other one is the reverse crab stitch. So this is called the forward crab stitch. I'd never seen it before. I'm sure it's been out there forever and a day. I'm sure it wasn't just created. But like I said, the more we're on YouTube, the more I'm learning. And I've learned lots of stitches and lots of combinations of stitches. And just seems like there are a million kabillion of them. And sometimes we make up our own, right? I guess we're going through there and just doing whatever. So anyway, that's what I did this week. And I thought maybe you might be interested in learning about it too if you really dislike the crab stitch. Maybe it's not the crab stitch you dislike. Maybe it's the reverse part. So let's try to go forward because that's always a better way anyway, right? So anyway, we hope you have a blessed week. We hope that you are doing well. Let us know below what your stitch is that is the bane of your existence, that you absolutely cannot stand, that you will never do again. Maybe it's the bobble, maybe it's the crab, maybe it's front post, back post. Who knows what it is? Mine used to be front post, back post. I have conquered that. Happy to say that I'm not overly fond of it, but I do like the way it turns out, so I will make myself do it, and the more I do it, the more I like it. So I'm getting there. So don't throw out a crochet stitch just because you can't do it, or just because you think it's difficult, because there might be another way. Might be another way to do it. Maybe there's a different way to do it that you just haven't found yet. Anyway, we hope you have a great week. Be kind. You don't know anyone else's journey. Bye.
Bye.